Hannah's dad, and both are deceased. Now, Stanford is also Heath's first name and his father's first name, but technically, he's named after the departed grandfather, so we're well within the Ashkenazi customs. And so we chose Sahar, which will be his first name, because we want to use the S sound for Stanford. And also, Sahar means moon, and my mother-in-law called this that the baby would be born into the full moon, and he was. He was born the day after the full moon. So that's why we chose that. And Ayal, which is his middle name, means deer, D-E-E-R, and Herschel means little deer. Hirsch means deer. So we just used the same, word for his whole name. So his name would be Sahar Ayal.
Right. Okay, well, as I promised, I have a little bit more to add to that. Absolutely, the name does mean moon. But there's a significance to that name. Beyond that, the Jewish nation was formed under a lunar calendar. The Jewish calendar does not follow the sun, it follows the moon. And every month, we have a celebration on the Sabbath, once a month, for the full moon called Rosh Chodesh, which celebrates that new moon. So if you think about it, you can celebrate his birth every month. This is a good chance to ask for lots of presents. But if you think about it, his name brings in the full moon and also is a real reminder of the cycle. And so he's a wonderful... And Ayal, the deer, is interesting. I had to look that up. When the English approved the establishment of the Jewish state in 1917, there was a real... they started going back to religious names. They went back to the Old Testament. And what's interesting is that the Sabras, the firstborn Israelis, the new Israeli people, said, okay, those are cool, but let's now go to something even more indicative of our country. And so with the rebirth of this country out of the desert, they started finding names that had to do with the rebirth and all the trees and the plants and the livestock, as well as some of the things. And Ayal is one of the names that actually came out of that rebirth of the new Hebrew Jewish nation in the 40s. So it's a wonderful choice. Okay, so having said that, as officiant, I'm going to be presenting to the parents. This is the naming certificate, which has his full name now, which is Sahar Ayal Ben, son of Shulamit Malka Abraham. And that's the son of Cheryl and Heath. He was born on March 11th, which was the 15th of Adar, that's the Hebrew lunar calendar, 5769, which is, today is May 9th, and the Hebrew date is the 15th of Iyar in the year 5769. And there's a space for witnesses, and we made a deal that your parents will sign this after sundown tonight. So this will be for you. In addition to that, I also have written out his Hebrew name, both in English and in the actual Hebrew, with some more detail. You may have seen in the news, Madonna did a whole bunch of things about with Kabbalah, and there's a whole bunch of numerology and mysticism. Well, here's some mysticism. This will tell you what all the numbers in the spelling of his name mean. So I don't know if you've done that research yet, but you now have this, which will tell you what. Okay, so that goes here. And now at this time, at this time, I would like the parents to read a prayer to their child. And I thought you wanted to actually name it. Okay.
Prayer on naming a child. Praise and gratitude fill our hearts on this day as we bring to thee, Almighty God, the dear child which thou hast blessed us. We dedicate it to a life of usefulness, honor, and piety. We bestow upon it the name Sahar Ayal. May that name be a token of every virtue. May thy blessing attend our dear child to guard against every evil and to keep it from every danger. May it be worthy throughout life to be crowned with thy benediction. May God bless thee and keep thee. May God let his countenance shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. May God lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace.
And we all say, Amen. Amen. Which means we agree. And now, I have one thing I have to do here. So it's important that each of these boys will get a separate blessing. So let me start with this one. Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Kehin et Hayelet Hazeh La'aviv U'Lemo V'Yikarei Shemo V'Yisrael. Our God and God of our fathers, sustain this child. We declare that his name shall be Sahar Ayal Ben Shulamit Malka Ba'Abraham. May his father and mother rejoice in their offspring with love and wisdom. May they be privileged to teach him the meaning of the covenant with which he has entered today, and to inspire him to practice righteousness in speech and in deed, to seek truth and ways of peace. May this child, Stanford Hirsch Patrick, grow into manhood as a blessing to his family, the Jewish people, and mankind. As he has entered the covenant, so may he attain the blessings of Torah, marriage, and a life of good deeds. And let us all say, Amen. Amen. Okay. Now, and I only did this because of the order in which they were born. He's the older gentleman. This is for you guys. And now, before we go further, we want to find out, what is this young man's name? And it's almost like Passover. Well, and how did you choose the name?
This is Blake Hayden Lemus, and his English name. And Blake, we really just like the name. It's not for anyone specific. We just like Blake. Hayden, we took the H from my grandfather on my dad's side. So that's how we got Hayden. And then his Hebrew name is Boaz Chaim. And Boaz, we kept with the B, with Blake, and it means swiftness. And he was swift.
And strong.
And strong, after his daddy, the runner. Yes. And then Chaim is his middle name, and that was my grandfather's Hebrew middle name. So we stuck with the B.
Very good. Very good. Well, I'm going to take it one step further. So now his full name is going to be Boaz Chaim ben Aviva Shlomi Abraham. And here is your certificate, which I will set over here temporarily for you. And I also did the same thing. I typed out a bunch of things. Interestingly enough, when you go to some of the websites, they actually showed the name Blake, and they showed as a translation for Hebrew,